Hey, thanks for checking out another episode of Prairie Dawgs. This is a good one.
This was a good one. We talk about me working at the city and getting covered in a glue that I invented.
Yep. Keeping an egg in your car just in case.
Just in case.
Wrestling.
We talked about wrestling. We talked about homeless people. What are they up to? And are they homeless or are they Mr.Beast?
And finally, this week's story is Tommy Prince. You're going to love it. Episode starts now.
Hell yeah.
We're back.
We're back.
Buddy, we'll never stop being back. They can't stop us.
We can't stop us. What are you drinking?
Blue Mountain Dew.
Blue Mountain Dew. There's no label.
Yeah. Well, it was...
That looks like cleaner.
It does look worse without the label. Yeah, I took it off because I was embarrassed that it was a fluorescent Mountain Dew, but now I'm realizing that it does look like just Febreze. It's Febreze colored.
It looks like Windex. Let's
it's Rocket
move
Pop flavored.
It's his go-go juice. He's coming in hot today because he's been drinking Windex all afternoon.
Not like an alcoholic dad, just a Mountain Dew dad.
That's even worse.
Mom, we can't get dad to stop shredding the gnar.
He keeps playing Guitar Hero and moving his hat backwards.
He's doing the solo with his tongue on the strum bar.
Yeah, it's not on. What's Daddy doing?
You remember that clip of what's that fucking redheaded snowboard guy?
Oh, Shaun White.
Yeah, you ever seen that clip of him on? They're interviewing him. And
No.
He's talking about winning the gold medal, and he's talking about the flight back home, and he's like, "Oh, all the stewardesses were coming over, and they're giving me chocolate bars, they're giving me drinks," and the reporter's like, "Drinks? You're only 18," and he goes, "I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby." Classic clip.
Classic clip.
Anyway, what's new?
Not much, man. Well, right off the top, I gotta tell you, I'm coming in a little not great. I'm not too happy right now.
Sure.
I'm a little
80%
grumpy.
battery?
80% battery,
All right.
honestly, and that's on the mood side of things. I got pissed off right at the end of the day. As you know, as we've discussed on this podcast before, I am now working for the city of Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I was on the night shift. Now I'm on the day shift. All right, we're driving tractors. We're bumping into parked cars. We're mowing down people's cats. It's a great time.
It's the good life.
It's the good life, and I'm getting paid for it with your money, taxpayer money. I ain't doing shit. It's the life. Today, though, I actually did some stuff. It is plus 34 degrees, plus 30.
It's a heat wave. We're cooking.
It's a heat wave, dude. It's cooking out there, all right? And I'm in the sun, and I'm roasting, okay? And Pale Mennonite Boy knows by now, at age 38, to throw on some goddamn sunscreen so I don't...
Just a dash SPF goes a long way.
It does. I got 30 of them. I got 30 SPFs.
That's not enough, I don't think. Or is that a lot?
Really? I thought that was a lot.
I thought higher is better.
Higher...
SPF.
Yeah, I want to get a little color. Come on.
Yeah. What does that stand for, you think?
Super protection from...
I was going to say super slippery... Nah, sun protection factor.
Slippery party fun.
That's when it's suntan oil.
Yeah, totally. I was at 30 slippery party fun. All right. But we are mowing grass on the streets. Now, the street sweepers were around last week trying to clean this city's streets. The verdict is in. They didn't do a great job.
Who's the verdict? Who said it?
I did.
Oh, okay.
And
You went over after and inspected?
I inspected it. They did not do a good job. And by they, I mean me. Because
Hands
I was
on your
the one
hips looking at the gutter going, fuck, that's dirty.
Dude, I'm looking around. There's piles of sand. Baseball pitcher mounds of sand on the grass. It's insane. But I got to get in there and mow the grass, right? So I'm like mowing the grass. There's just clouds of dust, which, as we discussed in a previous episode, mostly feces dust.
Yeah, it's poo-poo dust.
It's poo-poo dust, it's bone dust, and it's mostly concrete dust.
That's how you get pink lung.
That's how you get pink. I got pink lung right now. All right. I had a beautiful brown charcoal lung from years of smoking. Now I'm back to pink. Not having it.
Bad pink, though. Like pink eye, not like...
Yeah, not good pink.
To be clear.
There's good pink, and then there's like, you're going to die pink. I'm there. So I'm like mowing. I'm just in a cloud of dust and with the sunscreen. And keep in mind, this is City of Winnipeg that gave me this sunscreen. So this is like Temu ass fucking Alibaba goop.
Elmer's glue style sunscreen.
Honestly, it's North Korean labor camp sunscreen. It's not good for you. I put it on, it burns. But what happened was I put on the sunscreen. I got a thick layer going, and then all the dust is around. it coagulated.
Settling on you.
Yeah, and it made like a glue. I couldn't wash it off
Yeah,
for the
you
life
needed
of me.
to wear like a tarp like an old person's furniture.
Honestly.
That's what you needed.
No, I should have worn a raincoat. Plus 35, I should have worn a raincoat today. I spent the last 2 hours scrubbing my ass off just to get this goddamn glue off me. It's insane, dude. So that's what I'm coming in with.
I will say I did notice the big piles of dirt and sand all around the city on the sides of the roads and on the boulevard, but I thought it was just a 2-step process.
Yeah.
I said, oh, well, they're going to fix that. And
They'll fix it. They'll sweep it off the grass onto the street, and then they'll sweep it off the street
that's
and
exactly
take it
what
away.
I thought. I said, now they're going to hose that down,
Yeah.
and we're going to be cooking.
And guess what? It is that simple, and it's still not being done. Don't get me wrong. We're working very hard, but we need to be working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Huh? And I'm talking to me because I work for the city. And I guess I didn't do a good enough job because I am covered in a glue that you can't even see right now. You can't see it, but I'm covered in glue.
New brand of glue.
A new brand of glue.
Yeah, scrape that off. You sell it. You might be able to smoke that. You should try that. Try to
Turns out it's bong resin.
Smoke
Let's
that.
get high.
smoke that Soldier Boy.
Sorry about that. I hate to come in with negative vibes. I tend to do that. I come in, I'm like, you know what sucks? But like that's just what I'm coming in with.
Sometimes
sticky.
something will be good. Sometimes you'll come in, you'll go, you know what's fucking good? You know?
You know what I fucking love?
Yep.
Glue.
You might do that. That's all I'm saying.
I like the glue I made on
That's
my
all
body.
I'm saying.
How you doing, man?
I'm also just always angry all the time. Like I said, that's why I got the coyote spray, right?
Yeah.
But I've taken it a level further. What I've started doing recently is now I have car egg.
Car.
Yeah, so it's
What is car egg?
one singular egg, and I keep it in the cup holder of my car.
Okay.
And then if someone really pisses me off,
Egg.
I throw the egg at their car from my moving car, which is pretty jarring. You never get egged from a moving car.
It is jarring. That's
And
a crime.
There's no, there's not, because there's no recourse. Worst case scenario, they call the cops.
Sure.
They go, hello, police. A man just threw one egg at my car. And they go from the road, from the side of from his house, and they go, no, yeah, from the road. And they give them my plate, and the cops stop me on the road. Maybe they catch me. And they go, you threw an egg? And I go, yeah, I had one egg. What are you, stupid? Look at you see, hey, if you find a carton back there with one egg missing, yeah, I threw the egg. But unless you're saying I had one egg, officer, come on. You're being lied to.
That's actually not a bad plan. That's not bad.
It's bulletproof. What officer in their right
Honestly.
mind to be like, no, you had one egg? No cops listen to this podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm driving around with one egg in my glove compartment just to throw it at people. One egg.
Yeah, and it's padded a little bit so it doesn't break in there.
Yeah, if I was a cop, I'd be like, yeah, that does sound dumb. Who drives around with one egg?
Yeah.
But you do.
They pull me out of the car. They check my belt. I have an egg holster.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. There's one egg missing from
Fuck,
his egg
dude.
holster.
Look at that. What goes in there? Looks like an egg.
Yeah.
They pull up the podcast, this episode. They show it to you.
I have been trying to just road rage less generally because a while ago, a guy pissed me off and I tried to stick my head out the window to like turn my head back and be like, hey, fuck you, sort of thing, you know?
Class.
And then
the
my
whole head out the window. That's a good move.
That's exactly it. And it was like a windy day. And then also I'm driving. So the wind like blew my hat off like a cartoon. And I had to like, whoop.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah. So it's hard to look serious being like, whoa.
Yeah. You ever seen that video of that guy who like is in a merging lane and he gets out of his car halfway and he's like looking back at the car and then like the car behind, I guess he left it in drive. The car just starts driving slowly and he's like, whoa, and he tries to get in, but it just like, you have to see it.
I haven't seen it, but I do like that. I like it in concept. I love that premise.
Yeah.
Great premise for a video you just described.
Yeah. Do you get racist with your road rage?
No.
No?
Nah,
That's a
only-
lie.
well, if they're not, they're white.
Everybody does.
Not if they're white. How would I? How am I supposed to know what he is? I find it hard to be racist because I don't know what the guy is. I got to pull up next to him and be like, what are you?
Oh, you're that.
And then I can be, because I don't want to be unleashing on the Latinos, but it's actually,
Yeah.
you know, a Native American.
Yeah, totally. No, I know. You got to get it right.
That's
You
what I'm
gotta
calling
ask
them now, by the way. Native Americans.
Just Native
I've
Americans.
decided to. And when I say that, I'm also, by the way, speaking of Middle Eastern people.
Just any shade of brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I call them like I see them, and I don't know what the fuck I'm seeing.
He's calling them wrong.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Well, those are my two angry things.
I think someone's has to have that bit, wrong racism. Like racism, but it's wrong.
What do you mean? Like the idea of racism is wrong? Because I disagree.
No, I think Chad Anderson has a bit about that where he's a native man. He got called a dirty Mexican.
Sure. That's going to cost him $5 for that.
Honestly.
We're going to charge him for that mention, but
Chad, you're paying for that fucking plug. I'll tell you that right now.
no free rides, pal.
Pay your own way.
Hey, I got a homeless guy story. I was picking, this is maybe a couple of weeks ago, I was picking the comic up to go to Rumors from the hotel. So we leave the hotel, and at the first set of lights is a homeless guy, or a man that loves the outdoors, a camper, and an urban camper. And he has like his hand out as if like, hey, let me have some of that.
Oh, look, an explorer. Cool.
And normally I would not, but I had the headliner in the car who obviously I wanted to impress. So I was like, I got a toonie. I'm going to give it to this guy. And I unroll the window and I go to give him the toonie. And he goes, oh, no, I'm not. I don't want money. Like, I'm not looking for money. And I was like, oh, but so what did you, what were we doing here?
Yeah. What
and
do
he
you,
goes, what I'm actually doing is I have money here in my hand and I'm trying to give it to people. So maybe you want to add to my pile and then I can give it to the next person. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Take the fucking, I don't care what you do with it. Take the toonie, right?
this is taking too long. The light's green.
Right.
Shut up.
So I was like, yeah, oh, that sounds wonderful, man. Here you go, Mr.Beast. I said to him.
Exactly. That is some Mr. Beast-ass shit.
So I give him the toonie and he goes, maybe you want to put in a 10? Like, as if saying he's going to pay it forward would convince me to add a 10.
Bro, I'm not
Almost
here
dead.
for. I'm trying to help you live. I'm not here for your content.
At that point, no, I mean, unless he had like those meta glasses on,
Yeah,
he's
totally.
filming me.
Maybe you'd like to pitch in your car.
But when he pitched the idea of like, no, I'll give the $10 to someone else, I was kind of like, all right, that sounds better. I don't like you.
Okay.
If you give it to someone else, that's a deal. But I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty creative.
Cool. Yeah, that is actually not bad. You think he was genuinely homeless, or he was like and that was his grift, or you think that he was actually on some fucking paid forward shit?
No, I think he was homeless, but he had access to a phone, so he had seen like kindness content.
Oh,
And was
okay.
familiar with the idea of like, oh, people love it when you pay it forward or give them money to give to someone else. or-
Yeah.
Now everyone thinks that if you're kind to them, they're going to give you $1,000, and I don't subscribe to that.
Totally.
If someone's like, "Can I have $1, please? I can't afford this," I just mug them to find out if they have $1,000 on
Yeah,
them,
totally.
and then if they don't, I go, "All right, I'll buy it for you, man. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my bad."
Honestly. That's what I'm going to do from now on. Any homeless guy I come across, I'm like, yeah, right, Mr. Beast. Fuck you. I'm like, no, please, I need a sandwich. I am starving, dude. Yeah, okay. Why don't you just go to one of your burger shops, Mr. Beast?
Now, whenever I give money, I give them the money, and then I go, "So that's it."
Yeah.
I'm looking around for balloons to start,
Okay, but
so I don't get 1,000 back. I just give you 10, and that's it.
yeah, I gave you a toonie. Where's my more money?
I throw my hat on the ground like an old timey newspaper boy. God damn it!
They got me, concern it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should have known better than to give a toonie to the toonie lady.
Yeah, totally.
That's one of my favorite ladies. I bet she's got crazy pussy.
Pro-
Toonie lady? Man, I bet that grips.
Okay.
She's got the
I thought you were
stingray
going to say she's
coochie.
got a crazy social media following.
No way she's got a phone.
No, well, maybe not, but someone should get her a phone. Someone needs to start putting these guys on social media, because we talked about last time Cryptarda. Schizo content, very popular.
Very popular.
And you might be saying, well, Tyler, this is a horrible train of thought. You want to exploit these. I don't. I want them to make their own money based on their own crazy personality. They're losing out on money. They're walking down the street ranting and raving. Get that on camera. Upload a reel. Now
I would watch that.
I would too.
And you
Toonie
say
lady?
you don't want to exploit them. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in exploring that idea.
Yeah.
Massaging the idea of exploiting them. And here's my idea. Is POV content is so popular right now. Like guys that wear the meta glasses and they go up to girls on the street and they rizz them up or whatever.
Yeah.
So you walk around downtown, you throw 8 pairs of those on the top 8 raving derelicts.
Yeah.
And then you come back at the end of the day, you go, I'll give you $100 for those glasses
Give
back.
it here.
Dump the footage.
Yeah.
Profit.
It's like that GoPro they strap to
Yeah.
a cat.
Mhm.
And
That's exactly it.
And
Yeah.
you're just watching
See what
them
they're up to.
live. See what they're up to. Where are you going?
Oh my God, I can't believe they fit in there.
Yeah. Holy shit, he's in the rafters?
I do have a theory that I've been saying I'm actually pro homeless people. Not like I don't think there should be more of them.
They should be homeless.
I think we should all be homeless. No, I think we should all. Here's my stance on homeless people: is I think we should take them all and fucking put them all somewhere,
Yeah.
like houses or something.
We should house them.
Get them the fuck out. I think we should help them just because they're getting stronger. There was a guy in my neighborhood that I knew, and he had frostbite so bad on some of his hands that he told me that he wasn't wearing gloves one winter. And I was like, "Oh, get here! I got gloves for you. I got like an extra pair." And he was like, "Oh, I can't even feel them anyway. It doesn't even bother me." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So you're just stronger than me?
Yeah, dear God.
Oh, you're impervious to the city's strongest element."
Oh, okay, so you just have superpowers.
That's what
how
I'm
you
saying.
Survive.
That's my theory. Is that if we don't help them, they're actually using evolution to become stronger.
Oh, dude, that'd be a sick idea for a sci-fi novel in the future. Homeless people, they just evolved with these traits through that.
And so now they're homeless, but they like rove the streets. So we live in the suburbs, but it's kind of like scary. Like I have to tell my kids, like, "Hey, don't go downtown. There's 3 guys. They can't die."
They can't die. They can smell up to 10 miles away.
You have to cut their head off like the Highlander.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, their body's still asking for money. I asked a homeless guy one time who was asking me for money, and I love the homeless guys. He was great because I was like, he's like, "Hey man, you got any extra change?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. What for?" And he's like, "I'm just trying to get loaded." I was like, "Yeah, good. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, get a tin can, get a bag.
Yep.
You know, have a
I'll
good
drink
night.
one with you. Tell me a story.
100%.
Yep.
I asked this guy, I was like, "What do you do during winter? Like, what's the plan there? Like, how do you make it in Winnipeg? Why don't you go somewhere else?" And then he was like, "I don't know, man. I have a tent and I'm by the river." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's minus 40.
Yeah.
What do you do?" And he was like, "You buckle down." I'm like, "How are you alive?"
Yeah, what does that mean? Spill the beans, Illuminati.
Honestly.
What the hell are you doing down there?
No, these guys have powers, dude.
There is one guy right on
Powers.
like waterfront, like across from Tartan Towing, that just has like a tent. It's not even a tent; it's a teepee, straight up and down. It's a teepee, and he's got 2 of them. And then he has like, it seems like they're either rooms or bathrooms made of like those large storage containers.
Oh, yeah.
And I assume he just like owns that property.
Yeah.
And he's just elected to not really like build on it and just lives that way. And it's fucking dope.
Dude, some of these like homeless tent encampments.
I don't even know
everyone's
if that counts as homeless because he's like,
I know.
his home is the teepee.
I know.
That's a choice.
No, some of them are so advanced. People are like, "Oh, these poor people." I'm like, you know what? It's probably pretty cozy in there.
Yeah.
They got a little heater. They got a little fire. They're scrambling eggs.
Living
They're-
within their means.
Honestly, they really do.
Yep.
So shout out to Winnipeg homeless making it through the winter. But god damn, dude.
But I'm not paying it forward. Stop trying to trick me.
Yeah, Mr.Beast, we're on to you. Stop crying about your trauma, Mr.Beast. I'm not falling for it.
You're a faker.
Yeah. Where's my money?
What do you think of this? Every horse in the Kentucky Derby this year was a descendant of Secretariat.
What?
Secretariat, the famous horse.
Yeah.
Every horse in the Kentucky Derby this year was a descendant of that horse.
Man, isn't that weird?
Yeah. That's why I said it. So we agree then.
All right. No, but it is weird. Like, we were talking about this, like, with even when it comes to hockey and shit. I feel like the lip smacking is really bad today. So I apologize, Tim, right off the bat. The producer is going to have to edit all this shit out. I am severely dehydrated. I didn't drink any water today.
It's because of the glue.
Plus 34. It's the glue.
glue's on your tongue,
It's in my
too.
mouth. I got
Yep.
concrete and bone dust in my mouth right now.
Yum, yum, yum.
But you have like even the NHL, right? You've got a league of professional hockey players. This is like the best few hundred players in the world. And then in that group of all the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people playing hockey, these are the core group. Of that group, you've got Connor McDavid, who is significantly better than that yet.
Yep.
That's like Secretariat. Just a massive horse cock.
Yeah.
And just running through his blood. There's a million race horses that are all super fast. Secretariat clearly better than even the elite. Some people do have special powers. It's not just the homeless. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, he was the first Triple Crown winner in 25 years. And his record-breaking victory in the Belmont Stakes, which he won by 31 lengths, is often considered the greatest race ever run by a thoroughbred horse. He died in 89.
Yeah, they turned him into a bottle of Elmer's 20 minutes after he won that
Isn't that
race.
crazy that we're like, I'm not good at math, but what is that? Fucking 30, 50, less than 55 years removed from that horse. And he has a whole bloodline of horses that are now.
Genghis Khan style.
That would be so good to just.
Those breeders, those horse breeders, those horse race guys, they were probably just milking them because they were like, dude, this guy's gold.
Oh, they're probably just spraying loads sometimes into just cows.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, let's just have a good looking cow, you know?
Fuck it, get a cat over here. Just find something.
Yeah, let's make something handsome.
It's Secretariat. Just fill the fucking barrel, okay?
That would be a funny movie about like the barn hand for that guy just being like, this is unbelievable. Come. This is some of the best stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's like a Walter White's blue meth. They just can't believe the purity of it. They're just like, oh my God.
It is. It's like, that's what they should do with hockey players. Why are they not just milking Connor McDavid at this point? Stop playing hockey. You should have 12 kids.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Because some hockey players, they got one kid, they got two kids. I think there's maybe 3 Kachucks.
Yeah.
And they end up all in the league, and that's pretty good. And they're all pretty good. They're all top 50 players or whatever.
100%.
But if Connor Bedard, put in 10 years, and if you're a stud, dump out a dozen.
Dump out a dozen.
Same year.
Yeah.
Different moms, athletes also. Maybe one Latina. And, just for, I will get one gaucho out there. He's riding a horse around.
Yeah, hell yeah.
One polo player.
Honestly, a significant lack of representation in the National Hockey League of Latin Americans.
Who do you think's the least represented in the NHL? Can be generally, doesn't have to be one specific nation, but do you think it's Latinos?
I would say Latinos, Asians,
Filipinos?
Yeah.
That's got to be it. They have no interest.
No. East Indians.
Sure, yeah, that's true.
They got who? They got
none. The one guy that does commentary,
who is brilliant, by the way.
That was a great call.
Dude, that guy was awesome, man.
Yep.
Lowry. He always does a little sing. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
now,
which is,
what?
Well, whatever. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So yeah, dude, not a whole lot. We're talking 6 Canadians.
Okay.
And then, all right. Okay, so we'll go down the list here.
Sure.
Arshdeep Bains plays with Vancouver currently.
Okay.
He is, his ethnicity is Punjabi.
Cool.
They say that, not me. Kevin Ball from 2020 played with New Jersey and Calgary. He's mixed. He's Punjabi white.
Yeah, his name's Kevin.
Yeah, but it's Ball, Bahl.
Oh, okay.
So, Robin Bawa from 87 to 99 played with 4 different teams. He's Punjabi as well.
Oh, this is like 7 all time?
All time.
Oh, shit, dude. I thought going right now.
I thought so too until I got to these guys that are retired.
Dude, yeah, okay, that's nothing.
Jujhar Khaira.
There you go.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go. That's what I'm waiting. Kevin, what are we doing? No, talking East Indian here.
From 2015 to 2024, good little career.
Wow.
Played with 3 NHL teams: Edmonton, Chicago, Minnesota, Punjabi as well.
Oh yeah,
dude. The other Indian ethnicities are punching air right now. Punjabis are dominating you guys at hockey.
Yeah, move over, Kevin. We've got a new guy.
Manny Malhotra. Oh, that's like a big name.
Oh,
I didn't know Manny was Indian.
No, that's a name.
So he's mixed Punjabi French.
Okay, cool.
And then this guy from Norway, Andreas Martinsson.
Nah, come on.
Played from 2015 to 2019. He's Ugandan Indian and Norwegian.
Wow.
Do those line up? Hey, science heads, get in the comments.
Get in the comments if you think that is insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
So good for him. And then Zach Perek. Oh, Perek. The H is just backwards. I was trying to make an A Canadian style out of it. It's just Zane Perek.
Zane Perek.
And he lives
in Bridgewater.
Calgary, and he is Gujarati Korean.
Okay.
So Gujarati is more. I'm hovering over this link, and they look ballin'.
Gujarati is already a sick name for a people.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, those are good ones.
It's like karate, but also a guru.
The Indians like sub ethnicities. I shouldn't say that. Sub makes it sound like
podcast over.
That's not what I meant.
Sorry about that. We'll be back next week. I'll be here alone.
I meant like, the different divisions of like, Gujarati and Punjabi. Is that just like by different province, or is that by like
Yeah, fuck. I don't know how that works. I mean, it's no different than Canada. You got your Polish, you got your Mennonites.
Yeah. Well,
You
you're
got
just describing
your
Europe, I
Jews.
think, actually.
Yeah, totally. You got your Germans, you got your French.
Yeah, I don't know much about
No.
Indians. We need like a special guest to Russell Peters. Come on in. Imagine.
Russell. I actually at the city of Winnipeg, I work with some Iraqis.
Oh, yeah.
And who were dope, by the way, dude. I would drive with this kid, Nori. Nori's driving, middle of the night. He's blasting the, I don't know what you call it. The
Gun out the window.
nasheeds. Just, and I was like, dude, this is incredible. I feel like I'm in Mosul right now.
Yeah, that's a place.
I think so.
I have no idea.
I don't know
I've
either.
certainly never heard of it. I've heard of Morden.
Morden, Iraq. No, but he was dope. But he was like Kurdish and Iraqi, but Yazidi, which is like kind of Muslim, but not.
Oh,
and then even Muslims have like Sharia and Sunnis and Shiites.
Right. And then we have
We're
French
out of-
people.
Quebecois.
Fucking frogs.
Dude, yeah, no, we're out of our depth when at least I'm out of my depth.
That's more
talking
than I
about
know.
This shit. I don't know anything.
I like
and I'm
knowing-
sorry if I said anything.
No, I like knowing stuff like that. I think it's okay
Yeah.
to want to learn more things about different, like if they're over there, they're probably like, wait, so there's French people in Canada? Like that would make me curious if I didn't know. I'd be like, how'd that happen?
That's true,
You know?
actually.
And they're like, they're French. There's a whole chunk of the country that just speaks a different language, which is pretty absurd if you,
That is
put
true.
an outside
actually.
lens on it.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, wait a minute. There's that group of people in Altona.
Yeah.
They speak Low German, but they're eating pierogies and farmer sausage.
Exactly.
But they're
And they're
Canadian.
Latin too.
And they're
kind somehow
of-
Latin.
They have connections to like Paraguay
Yeah.
and Bolivia. What's going on there?
Yeah, exactly. And I like to know little like cultural things like that, like different regional stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly for shows, because then if there's someone, I can be like, where are you from?
Yeah.
If that comes up, and then they say like, oh, I'm Indian, and I go, oh, like North India.
Yeah.
And they go, no, those are the gross ones. I go, okay, noted.
Oh, okay.
Because that's one of the South ones that said that. So that can't be a lie.
North is gross.
Yep.
North is gross.
They're the guys, from my understanding, are the ones that are like, show me Bobby Sweetie. And doing, like TikToks of them like,
Show
just
me.
like doing weird shit.
Okay. Show me Bubs. That's your joke. Yeah, it's weird. There's always like a north-south thing in every country. Like even UK, south and north. Everyone thinks the north are hicks there.
Well, because I think one of
got
them
the
does have a
Cockney.
fucked up accent. Yeah.
Yeah,
one of them,
exactly.
even just by listening to you, I shouldn't be able to be like, oh, you're the fucked up ones.
Yeah. And in the States, everyone shits on the south.
Because they're the fucked up. Okay, talk normal then. Hey,
Yeah,
if you want
exactly.
to stop getting grief, talk regular. The newfies up here.
The newfies. Okay,
Just
yeah.
talk
that's another-
normal.
Just talk normal.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. And that's my stance for presidency.
TK 2025.
Not of the
Talk
country or
normal.
just of the trailer park that I live in.
Yeah. What time are we at? What do we want to
We
do?
still got a little bit of time. What was I going to say? I had something
Should
else.
we wrap that up? The race thing? We were talking about hockey. Asians underrepresented. East Indians underrepresented.
And we said there's 7 of them, so that's probably them.
How do
I
we
would
get
say
onto that? How do we?
We were just, bouncing about in the way that we do, flowing in the wind frivolously without
Anyway.
a care. That's the beauty of just, I don't who you gonna call, my mom?
Yeah,
Tell her
I
that.
am. Miss Katowski, your son is saying some outrageous shit here on this podcast.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, he's saying some stuff about Indians, and you know what she would say?
What?
Which ones? That's how old she is.
Because those are gross.
Oh, I just meant like different, which continent?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because she doesn't know which.
Then
She
I'm
just
sitting there
still
on
calls.
I'm sitting there on the phone. You drive by, you throw a car egg at me. Now what? Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I guess I could say that was that. Thanks if you said the podcast is good.
Hey, thanks if you said the podcast was good. That's very true.
Yeah, because it is. First of all, so you're right.
You're right. It
Which
is
must
good.
feel good. That's got to feel good.
We're on episode 5, dude. This shit is sick, and it's going to keep getting better. So if you're not on board now, don't get on board. We don't want you. That's a lie. Please
Yeah,
watch.
start next episode.
Please start watching. But whoever's come up to us in person, which is a couple of people, we're not making this shit
I know,
up.
and I always think they're being sarcastic,
Yeah.
but they seem to be genuine. So thanks, and yeah, tell your friends because you're on the ground floor, and we'll remember you. We will.
We will. We will.
And we'll give you free shit. I feel like a lot of comics now, like the big dogs, they don't remember people. And they don't give them free shit. I will.
Yeah.
I don't need that much money to survive.
Yeah, it's only Louis C.K.
Yeah. We start that whole rant again.
Yeah. And another thing, Louis. This
yeah,
podcast is just shitting on Louis.
Yeah, thanks to it was the nefarious James Corba that reached out.
Yeah, James Corba.
Boo.
Boo. Why James Corba? Boo.
Because he's like an evil guy in that world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, in the WPW world. Yeah.
I haven't been in a while, but so I assume he's still like a nefarious evildoer. But
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the guy from back in the punk days. He was in a sludge band, still one of the greatest Winnipeg blackened sludge bands called Scab Smoker.
damn, what makes it blackened? They're Cajun.
No.
Listen here, boy. We'll call it Scab Smoker. Hey, dude, he's gonna like this episode.
This
I
doom
think
gets
he's
a
gonna
little
like this
crunchy.
episode. Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, no, he dude, man, yeah, he could that guy can play guitar and dude, he can sing. He's got chops.
Well, I'm.
What's he like in the wrestling world? I'm kind of disconnected.
He's like their general manager figure.
They're Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Minus
something like that. Yeah. Yep.
Minus
And they throw him around every now and then, and I mean, he comes out and we go, "Boo, fuck you, pal." All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's fun. So thanks. Your thing's good too, man.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I don't think T-Pain's been, but I'll drag him out.
Yeah, drag me out. I was to a show early in the Sherby days.
Sherby
When they were
days.
still doing the Sherb.
Sure. Yeah, the growth is insane. So
They
hoping
sold-
to follow a similar trajectory here.
Yeah, one day we'll be selling out the bird, and someone will be putting me through a table.
I would love to get put through a table. One time I
Honestly.
had Tyler Colton, who's wrestled for them as well. He was
Sure.
a champion for a while on a podcast we did with another wrestler, Stefan Epic.
Oh,
You
okay.
might have met when he was around doing some comedy and stuff. But yeah, I did his podcast. Tyler Colton gave me a big fucking slap. I said, "Give me one. I want to feel it." And boy, did I!
Did ya? Yeah,
fuck yeah, he let it rip.
It's no joke.
There's
eh?
a video somewhere, maybe on my Instagram or something. I'll unarchive it so it's up there. But it's a thunder crack, that's for sure.
Interesting. You know, weird. We're talking about wrestling. We're talking about tables, and you probably, if you're watching this podcast, you might not know, but you should. Rest in peace, Sabu.
Man,
Fucking Sabu died, man.
a legend. He just had his last. Well, now I think it was meant to be his last match anyway, but now it for sure is going to be. It was like a barbed wire death match.
Dude, he did those way too long, man.
Dude, he rocks. He was just on Legion of Skanks like maybe a month or two ago.
That's
And,
right.
like,
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
he's a dog. I think like him and Iron Sheik are some of the most entertaining characters.
Honestly,
Iron Sheik for obvious reasons, and then Sabu for just being a dog.
that guy was just a workhorse, bro, and he was never like a corporate ladder climber. The man genuinely liked to just fly through tables.
Yeah, man. The equivalent of a scab punk band or whatever you called it. Black and Cajun punk band.
100% Cajun punk. That's what he was. He literally
Leghorn punk.
Foghorn Leghorn. Yeah. Smoky ribs. But yeah, man, Sabu, one of the ultimate legends. In fact, back in grade 9, when we didn't even have the internet yet, I was on New Bothwell Elementary School's intranet making my own Sabu tribute page.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just because him flying through tables as a 14-year-old, it hypnotized you. It was so sick.
Dude, yeah.
Crazy.
Wrestling does capture the imagination. A certain part of the brain. I used to make PowerPoint presentations of just like, it'd be a picture of the wrestler and then like their ring name, and then it would be like their real name and their hometown, or like basically just stuff you can pull off a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
And then I would go, Dad, come look at this. And I would just like click through 40 pages and he'd be like, "That's good."
Look what I made.
Like, that's not even, I'm developing no skills.
Yeah, no.
Nothing is, I'm not even like giving the presentation. So it's
No.
not like I'm learning how to speak publicly. I'm just like, you read it.
Yeah. You just like it so much, you want to keep seeing it. That's why I kept downloading pictures of Sabu.
Yeah.
Flying through tables, because I'm like, Sabu. And like Raven and like the
yeah.
Dudleys.
I
And
used to-
Spike Dudley.
Oh man, I
Oh,
used to do
God.
that with Tori Wilson. Same reason.
Different reasons.
Dude, I wanted to get
Yeah.
on Canada's Got Talent so bad those last couple of seasons when they had Trish Stratus on.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Trish.
to shake her tit.
Trish, Tori, Sable, all B tier compared with the greatest of all time, Stacy Keibler.
Sure, yeah, that's
Stacy
that's a top tier.
Stacy was next level.
But you know what? Have you watched wrestling lately? Because the women are nuts. They're power bombing each other through tables.
Oh yeah, no, they're wrestling.
We have fully eliminated any like. There's no like booby ass girls anymore.
Yeah.
And when there is like a booby ass girl online, people are like, cover up. Like people get weird about it. It's weird.
100%.
Which is cool because I think now actually if you do that long enough, so now they've kind of broken through that glass ceiling of like the only way you're on television is if you're like, look at these, right?
Yeah.
Now they're getting real full-time matches. That's something that WPW actually does great as well is like 50% usually of every card is women.
Yeah.
And not in a way that feels like, you go to some events that do that thing where they're very clearly being like, it's one of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't get that vibe. You're just like, oh, everyone here's kicking ass.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is like, just good booking, I guess. But
does the league, the WWE, do they still
call them promotions?
The promotion? Do they still call them divas? Yeah, okay, good. Because that was dumb.
They had a divas title, which was like the divas belt.
Sure.
And they made like a big deal of fully retiring it in favor of bringing back the women's title, which is funny because like what Trish had and Lita had was the women's title.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they went to divas after that and then came back into, now they have tag team titles. They have a women's intercontinental title.
Oh, they got a whole thing. Good.
Yep.
Because I saw this clip back in the day as I was like downloading diva clips off of Morpheus and Kazaa.
Yeah.
I saw this
viruses.
Yeah, exactly. Malware. I don't care. Give it to me.
Yep.
Oh, Stacy. I downloaded this one clip one time from like some Japanese women's promotion.
They
and dude,
kicked the shit out of each
they
other.
were kicking the shit out of each other. I was like, holy shit. I was like, it was the stiffest wrestling I've ever seen.
Yeah, it rules.
And they were just beating the crap out of each other.
Yep.
And then a little while later, Lita showed up. She was doing moonsaults and cool shit through tables and stuff like that. And now it's kicking ass, you're saying?
Yep, we're back. We're fully back. Women are back on top. And hopefully they can stay that way for a while and earn this reputation of like, they are powerfully good wrestlers.
This is
very entertaining.
Yeah, this is a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
totally.
then that frees them up in their after career to be like, all right, I'll show you my tits for $50.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is what a lot of them are doing. There are some ladies that have like left or been fired that are now just like, it's $10 a month.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Why not?
Get on the OnlyFans.
You've earned it. You've done the cycle enough to be like, retire comfortably or whatever.
Dude, you hit the moonsault, you hit the swanton, just go on OnlyFans, get your bag, girl.
All right, let's do a story.
Okay, let's do a story. But yeah, shout out WPW.
Yeah, they're fun as hell, man. We brought TJ Miller there when TJ Miller was in town. We brought him over to the show, and he had an absolute hoot as well. Like he was going up to all the wrestlers' tables after to be like, "Can I get a picture with you?" Yeah, they were like, "Can I get a picture with you?"
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like, it was a pretty cool marriage to see him just like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah, just
and all the wrestlers like, hey, thanks for appreciating it.
Yeah,
so.
And it's like grassroots Winnipeg shit, and it's successful, and people in Winnipeg think it's cool, and it's just so cool what James Corba built, man. It's fucking dope.
Well, yeah, and all those guys, like I heard one of them say an interesting thing. I don't know all the guys' names, sorry, but I heard a clip of one of them talking about how like they didn't want to necessarily evolve beyond Winnipeg. People were like, well, how are you going to evolve if you're called Winnipeg? And it's like, well, we're not. We want to be like the Sea Bears, the Gold Eyes, the Moose. Like
it's an indie promotion.
A thing that is part of the city. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, they're killing it. So shout out to them.
Yeah. And
let the story begin. This week, Tommy Prince. How about Tommy Prince?
Oh, shit. How much time do we have left?
Enough.
Okay, all right.
You're always worried about time, but I'm not.
Dude, we did Nygaard last week in like 20 minutes or something.
And people liked it. People liked the episode.
That's true, but
they did. We got good
Nygaard,
feedback. So we could always loop back on Nygaard too, but
you said most of his life is making jeans. Anyways.
Yeah, and with Tommy Prince,
most of his life is making jeans.
The first half of his life is also making jeans. Yeah. Tommy Prince MM, they call him. Tommy Prince MM, which is military medal. It's like having a PhD. They call you. They give you the MM designation as part of your like name.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, was an Indigenous war hero and the most decorated soldier in the 1st Special Service Force, or Devil's Brigade, who were an elite American-Canadian commando unit during World War II.
Sick.
Yep. He was Canada's most decorated First Nation soldier.
Shoulder?
Shoulder.
He was a body part?
Cut the
what?
served in World War II and the Korean War. He is one of only 3 Canadians to receive both the Canadian Military Medal and the American Silver Star during World War II.
Hell yeah. Made it in the States, buddy. You made that jump.
Yeah. His deeds as a scout and forward combatant were unique and of major strategic importance. And he's often been called perhaps Canada's greatest soldier.
Sick, dude. From Winnipeg, man.
From Scanterbury, Manitoba.
Huh.
Yep. Born in 1915. They also called him Prince of the Brigade or the Legend of Kapyong.
You know what blows my mind? Sometimes, like, you go through war.
Boy,
and
do we.
Do you? War of the mind.
Psychological.
But mostly, you know, I would say like 99% of soldiers in the war, whatever war they're in, are just trying to survive.
Yep.
So you survived World War II, the greatest, biggest war of all time. Tommy Prince says, all right, now let's go to Korea.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Korea needs sweeping at all or no?
Dude, what a bad
North or south, he was asking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who we hitting? South? Yeah. North? Oh, okay, cool.
He was descendant of First Nations chiefs. His grandfather had negotiated treaty rights in Manitoba with representatives of the crown.
Okay.
That's significant. His grandfather negotiated directly with the crown for treaty rights in Manitoba.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
so to hammer out the deals we have today.
I don't know if they're the same ones, but he was he was involved enough with the chiefs of the First Nation that he was involved in those negotiations.
Okay,
his
so
grandfather, that is.
He's a somebody. He comes from
a family. A bit of a family, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He would also represent First Nations in Ottawa and Manitoba as well throughout his life or whatever.
Sick. Like the indigenous Kennedys.
Yeah, born in the Broken-Head Ojibwe Nation.
Brokenhead.
One of 11 children to Henry and Arabella of Peguis First Nation.
Nice.
Which then in parentheses says Broken-Head Ojibwe Nation. So again, the boundaries are unclear to me, but I'm just giving you the facts.
Nice. All right. My mom also, my mom was also a daughter in a family of 11 children. All of them war heroes.
I was going to say, which war did they serve in, you
totally.
fucking cowards?
Yeah, exactly. They're Mennonites. They dodged every war since they were born.
The family had a strong military tradition too. They'd served in Canadian Armed Forces in support of the Crown during the 1870 Red River Rebellion.
Damn.
Which is something we will inevitably touch on as well. That's
they should teach us this in school. Maybe they did, and I didn't listen.
I mean, yeah, the Red River Rebellion is where Louis gets involved.
So is it?
Louis Riel. Yeah.
Okay.
They definitely taught you that.
Okay, I did not.
100%.
All right. I don't know it.
Yeah. There's no. Oh, it's so funny on the Red River Rebellion page when it's talking about. It has a section of commanders and leaders. Then it says casualties and losses. 1, Thomas Scott. Cocksucker. No, we'll talk about. They're both cocksuckers. We'll talk about them later.
Who is? Okay, yeah. Tommy Prince.
Yeah. Tommy Prince. That's a teaser for the Louis Riel episode.
Nice.
So they were Chief William Prince, a first cousin of Tommy Prince's father, had led the Nile expedition voyagers in the relief of General Gordon at the siege of Khartoum in
General
1885.
Cool.
Yep. So just to say that they're a military family. Growing up, he became pretty good with a gun, pretty good at tracking and stealth, just because he was both sort of like a military brat.
Yeah.
I don't know if they called him that at the time, but like it was from a military family.
Like this rip guy, 90 kills. You're such a brat. He's like, dude, I've got 208 confirmed kills.
These are 80 scalps of the enemy. What are you talking about?
Classic war brat.
And then also because of his like indigenous background and living in the wilderness and reserve, he was like real good at tracking, really good at nature-based stuff that a lot of like white boys just were not good at all.
Yeah, man. Deer hunter shit.
Yeah, exactly. His dad taught him how to like hunt and all kinds of stuff of that fun nature.
Sick.
Joined the Royal Canadian Army Cadets. And this is an interesting quote. It says, as soon as I put my uniform on, I felt like a better man. I even tried to wear it to class. Which is kind of true. You ever put a suit on and you're just like, fuck, I've always been smart and handsome.
Dude, I am sexy as hell right now.
Yeah, man.
Honestly.
You feel good about it.
Yeah,
you feel
honestly.
real good about it.
I really do.
Was deployed in Italy at one point.
He's traveling the world.
Monte Maho went over there.
Someday I'll invent a time machine. I'll go back to World War II. and I'll be the guy off the boats getting shot in the head first,
No, like not
instantaneously.
Yeah, because I'm
my time.
I'm waving my hand, being like, me, do me.
Yeah, please.
My buddy gets shot. I go, I feel good. You look relaxed. Do me next.
You still think it's a movie? Fuck, dude. You see that guy's leg get blown off? Crazy. It's like, dude, this is real life. This is real pain.
Yeah, so he was like a dog in World War II. And due to just like his ability to penetrate German lines in a stealthy way, he was able to get a whole bunch of information back that would not have otherwise been able to get back in time, sort of thing.
Sure.
Like there were reports that he was able to get back that made it so that they could get, high ground on enemies in certain cases that would secure them villages or outposts, things of this nature.
Because he was just like going in the backwoods and just scouting shit out.
Well, what Canadians were kind of famous for in the first two World Wars, I think a little bit specifically the Second World War, they say that apparently Nazi and like German uniforms are hard to find in complete condition because Canadians like to like cut off buttons and like patches and little tags and just like take them as like,
oh shit,
gotcha.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
Other people didn't like. Americans were like scared to be there, and apparently a lot of Canadian soldiers got the rep of being like, "Oh, they're having too much fun."
Okay, we liked what we were doing. Hey,
Yeah, like
sick.
we were. I think the reason for certain sanctions, for sure. Like I think we had a lot to do with the Geneva Conventions being put in because we were like, "What do you mean we can't do certain stuff?"
What do you mean we can't take an ear?
Yeah,
I did that.
and that could be sort of a little bit of mythos that has been built around it or whatever, but yeah, people like to say that Canada's war crimes led to the creation of the Geneva Conventions.
Quick side note, you know who else was badass in World War II?
Who's that?
The Finns.
What are they up to?
Finnish. Well, is it the Finnish or the Finns?
Both.
Okay, yeah, cool. I just remember this one story where this guy, he was a ski soldier, right? They had like a ski brigade.
Okay, awesome.
Right?
First of all, very James Bond.
100%. So he would just go around in skis with his machine gun and his sniper rifle, and he was just murking Nazis and smoking or eating meth. So he would just stay up for days at a time. And this one Finnish guy, like 90-some confirmed kills, just because he was a meth head with skis and a sniper rifle. Badass.
You used to be able to get a proper job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
You used to be able to get a damn job.
Exactly. I got to work at Best Buy. Where's my war? Bullshit, dude. Sorry, keep going.
No, yeah. So like after if I remember, it was now after World War II, he would go back to England, where he was summoned to Buckingham Palace.
What?
In 1945, where King George VI presented him with his military medal.
That's massive for an indigenous guy to do that at that time. Mm-hmm. Dude.
And on top of that, when typically these medal presentations would consist of a smile and a handshake.
Yeah.
That's what they said, as they did for other recipients on this occasion. Other people that have got this medal from the king would get thanks,
Yeah.
And they said on this occasion, though, the king stopped and discussed for several minutes with Prince his various wartime exploits with the force and also asked him about current conditions on the Broken Head Reserve.
Oh, shit,
So the
dude.
king himself was like, this guy's a dog. Like, let me talk. Your things all right? Can I help on your reserve?
Yeah,
Our
man.
thing, you know?
Hell yeah.
So pretty cool. Was highly decorated, was honorably discharged on June 15th, 1945, returned back home to the Broken Head Reserve, worked on a pulpwood camp. It says his father had recently died while he was overseas, and Prince had divorced his first wife. And in 1946, a woman attacked him at a dance and cut his cheek with a beer bottle, requiring 64 stitches.
Oh, he's still mixing it up at the bar and shit.
He's getting jiggy with it.
Hell
so
yeah.
after this, he left the reserve and moved to Winnipeg, although he retained his status, his treaty status, and did not become a member of Canadian General Society. This is, 80 years ago now, keep in mind. So it's not,
That proves how hard the reserve is, dude. Because like Tommy Prince, war hero, decorated. He's meeting the king, and someone still was at the bar like, "Fuck you, pussy."
Yeah, I'll cut you.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
unbelievable. And I mean,
and got him.
that's honestly, it's funny that you say that, because that's probably as good as he was treated post-war. Like people really treated him poorly.
Really?
Coming back from war. Yeah, he
What the fuck? Why?
So after this, so he's no longer living on the reserve, so he's able to get some funding from Veterans Affairs to start a small business, basically. So he had a small but relatively prosperous cleaning service for a while.
Have we talked about this before? Because I swear, like, dude, you go to World War II, you get a silver medal, you get a Canadian medal, you meet the king. Yep. There's no reason why you should have to work ever again. You did what you did. The Canadian government should now float you. 50 grand a year, boom, sit at home, do nothing.
Not unbelievable living, but just enough to be like, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
You're on the top tier of our soldiers. You did really good. Thanks. Yeah. We'll give you a top, whatever. But he joined parliamentary committee to help with the Indian Act. So he was involved with the negotiations of those to make it so that, things were fair as far as they could see from both ends, or as much as they could contribute to things being fair from both ends. So he's doing work in Ottawa for that. Frustrated with kind of the bureaucracy of the red tape, he comes back to Winnipeg to find his cleaning business folded in his absence because the friends that he trusted to run it had crashed the truck and sold the parts as scrap metal. Sold all of the supplies, all the equipment, pocketed the money. So this guy's getting fucked at every
fuck?
Dude, you come back and you're like, where's my van? Where's the Febreze? Where's the toilet paper?
I was in Parliament. What'd you do to my truck?
So people are fucking him at every turn.
Yeah.
So 1950, he returns to the army to fight with the United Nations troops in the Korean War. He's quoted as saying, I owed something to my friends who died in World War II.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Did you, Tommy? You didn't know shit, dude.
Not from our point of view.
Not from our point of view.
As far as we're concerned, it's like, man, yeah, thank you. You did it.
Yeah.
But he goes back. He gets reinstated to his previous rank of sergeant. He was now a member of the 2nd Battalion, Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry.
PPLCI.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Is it? Yeah,
That's exactly what it says right beside it. Just like continue to get jiggy with it over there. His normal usuals. There's a whole section for the Battle of Kapyong, at which he had a prominent role with the PPCLI, of course, as you know.
Yeah.
Got some more. Awarded the United States Presidential Unit Citation for distinguished service in the Battle of Kapyong. So he was a dog.
For the record, anyone listening to this, sorry to interrupt, but if you're looking for an insane Korean War movie, look up the movie Taegukgi. All right.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
You're
I thought we were doing slurs.
It's not a slur, I don't think. I don't know Korean, but it's Taegukgi or Taegukgi, something like that. One of those is definitely slurish, but it's not. That's the title, I swear to God. And it's like the sickest Korean war movie. It's like Band of Brother production qualities, but it's all in Korean. So you got to read subtitles. But Taegukgi, not a slur.
And back to you.
Not a slur. Back to you. But check that movie out. It's incredible.
And yeah, for reference, you're thinking war, you might be like, oh, he's in the foxholes or this and that. Particularly at the Battle of Kapyong, the fighting was often hand to hand with bayonets.
Jeez.
So this guy was fucking he was getting in there, dude.
Meanwhile, back home, his friends are like, yeah, so Tommy's got that Ford Ranger. We could probably take the bumper off and fucking, I don't know, $20.
They killed about 5,000 Chinese soldiers and many more wounded during the assaults on Hill 677, this is. By contrast, the PPCLI suffered 12 killed, 35 wounded.
Crushed them. That's a blowout.
Mopped these guys.
Wow.
They continue to fight in Korea for a while. We're not going to get into the story of the Korean War, but comes back, gets more awards from the Korean War. In his later life is kind of where it gets a little more sad because he comes back, and as with many people that served overseas, just had some trouble adjusting to civilian life.
Yeah.
Had horrible arthritis in his knees because of the long, harsh conditions in the military. He got a small military disability pension because of his knee injuries, and it looks like as a First Nations member, he was unable to access other programs. So this was long enough ago that he, just by virtue of who he was, despite being one of the nation's great war heroes, didn't get access to the same benefits that the white man did.
Yeah, but you're native, though, so you can't. Sorry, this money's not yours. Sorry, Tommy. Anyways, I'll buy your gold star off you, but that's about it. Sorry, Tommy. fucking government.
It's funny you say that because later on in his life, he did end up having to sell a lot of his medals
come on,
in order
dude.
to just fund like just living. He had, I think, problems of his own, but just like in order to stay afloat, his kids didn't really support him. Not like as a knock on them. They like I'm not in a position where I could support my parents now necessarily.
No. Hell no.
But he just didn't have that support necessarily.
Brutal.
On top of that, a lot of people come back from the war, and then you can count on spending some time at the local Legion.
Yeah.
Or in this case, in order to apply for certain employment programs, supports, you had to go into a Legion to get the application. Up until 1966, First Nations people were not allowed in the Legion.
What?
There was bylaws forbidding the presence of First Nations members due to alcohol on the premises.
What? What are we doing?
So those were formally removed in 1966, 20 years after the end of World War II. So for that reason, like he's just getting fucked at every possible corner,
Dude,
whether it's by
man.
bureaucracy, personal things, had some depression after a while, of course, like many veterans did, PTSD, combat nightmares, things of this nature, was homeless for a while. Police officers knew him personally, both because of his heroic war service and because they would kind of catch him out for vagrancy or whatever. And they would always refuse to charge him. They'd pick him up. They'd be like, Tommy, we're going to Salvation.
Okay.
They'd drop him off. So the cops actually showed him respect in the sense that they never gave him a hard time for having a hard time.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad to see the way that people, that being said, he eventually overcame alcoholism and would later give coherent media interviews and reminiscences of his military deeds.
Well, that's sick.
Yeah. Yep.
So he kind of pulled it around after this
towards
world.
the end, yeah, he had to sell off the medal to, support himself, but despite strained finances, remained generous to others and would often give cash to people whom he judged to be worse off than himself.
Yeah. See.
So just like an unbelievable dude, he would often
Just a
attend
great
annual
dude.
remembrance days, reunions with the PPCLI comrades. Yeah.
That Legion shit pisses me off. That's that racism that pisses me off. Road rage racism, fun, harmless. No one's getting hurt.
Yeah.
Let a slur go. This is that dumb racist shit that the war hero can't go into the goddamn Legion to get an application form.
Yeah.
What were you doing? Who was working that Legion that they didn't just hand him a resume or an application outside?
Just on
or let the guy get a drink.
On outside. Bring it to him outside. You know
Bring
what I
it to
mean?
him outside.
Like,
or let the man have a drink with his boys.
it's
Jesus.
unbelievable. All right, a couple crazy things to land it, and then we'll get out of here.
All right.
In 1976, Prince was assaulted and beaten by a street gang who were unaware of his identity. Just thought he was a guy, and they just beat him up. Later,
Nice pendant, old man.
these are 80 war medals.
From my 300 confirmed kills.
Yeah, you're welcome for your country.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. Both the land and then I fought for its freedom, you fucking pricks.
This ain't Berlin, bro. This is B-side.
Later, in another incident, he was stabbed by a young man who had mistaken him for another First Nations man whom he had been targeting. Yeah. These serious acts of violence possibly contributed to Prince's demise the following year at age 62. It says possibly, but it's like, at that point, he had lived a very hard life. You know what I mean? Like,
This fucking guy. Man. Can he catch a break? He gets stabbed, and the guy's like, oh, oops, sorry. Thought you were Kevin.
dude,
He's like, dude, please.
did that gang not talk to you? Did they not tell you that I'm not who they thought I
They
was?
just robbed me. Okay, please.
Yeah, so they had a nice provincial state funeral for him. He died in 1977 at Winnipeg's Deer Lodge Center.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, they did the whole flags to half mast nationwide. It sounds like his daughters said they were very impressed by the response and were moved by it.
Yeah, but it's kind of hollow. Sorry to.
That's exactly what they said too. They
Okay.
said they did wonder where these officials had been during his years of struggle with war wounds and
Yeah, no
unemployment.
shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Totally. Yeah. Let's take a minute that this guy died. Okay, he was living for the past 30 years. You can't even go into a fucking Legion. What were you doing?
That being said, yeah, so their thoughts were like, hey, it's very nice to see everyone here. It's very moving, and we didn't realize. But yeah, where were you guys earlier?
Yeah.
But he had never discussed his war record with his daughters. So until his funeral, they didn't know he was like a hero. Because he
Real
came
one.
home and was probably like, I don't want to talk about all that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I killed the most people and the most stealthy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
What a real one.
You got to look this guy up. If this sounds interesting to you at all, like Yeah, it could be 3 episodes, but like anything could be if I really want to read through every little thing. But it's like it's an insane story. He used to do all kinds of cool stuff. Like he would swap out his boots for mucklucks so that they wouldn't hear him because he would be quieter and mucklucks than like stomping boots. And then he would sneak in and cut little buttons and things off. And the German soldiers called him Geist, which obviously is for ghost. Because they would wake up and things would be moved or missing or a note would be left or whatever. And they'd be like, oh man, the ghost was here.
Have they made a movie about this guy?
Oh, I don't know that they have. If they have, it would probably be Canadian, so it probably sucked.
Yeah, exactly. No, Hollywood needs to go in on Geist.
Yeah, there's a Canadian Heritage Minute video.
Which were not bad.
They were fine, but it's
let's not knock Canadian Heritage Minutes.
Yeah, so he's got a plaque at the Legislative Building. There's a play. He's got a postage stamp.
That's
about as good as you can hope for.
That. No, I want Tom Hardy. No, Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis as an old Tommy Prince. Tom Hardy as a wartime Tommy Prince.
Jimmy Fallon in brown face.
Jimmy Fallon as Nazi number 4.
All right, cool, man. Well, that's Tommy Prince, dude.
Tommy Prince, what a badass.
Yep, overall badass, cool dude, humble dude.
Yeah, and just got shafted.
Nonchalant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really.
So respect to him. Big respect to Tommy Prince.
Yeah. Big respect to Tommy Prince. Big respect to
you.
For
watching, for listening.
I was going to say big respect to James Corba.
Oh, sure. Yeah, him too.
But I didn't want to lump in him with Tommy Prince.
Well, now I put a buffer there. So
yeah,
now you can put him on the other side of you.
Buffer. Tommy Prince, here. Everyone else, you.
Yep.
WPW, and James Corba doing good shit in the city. Car Egg, shout out to that.
Shout out to Car Egg. Start bringing a Car Egg around. Let's have Mario Kart style Car Egg battles.
Hell yeah.
I got red shells and Car Egg. I'll see you cocksuckers on the road.
And shout out to City of Winnipeg employees.
City of Winnipeg employees and our producer Tim Gray and Ashdown Market.
Lucy's Comedy Club. Go to Zellers.biz for tickets for that. I'm headlining Rumors Comedy Club June 3rd and 4th.
I'm headlining May 27th, 28th.
So get tickets for that at rumorscomedyclub.com and follow us on the goddamn Instagram. If you're watching this right now, follow us on the Instagram, follow us on the YouTube. Like the shit, follow the shit. I know it's cringe.
Just like it before you watch it. Just like it immediately, subscribe, and then I don't even care if you watch it.
Yeah. And then if we piss you enough where you are literally throwing shit at the computer, then maybe click the unlike button. But just start off with a like and we'll move from there. We're trying to get this fucking thing going. God damn it.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
See you next time.
Prairie Dawgs. Thanks for watching that YouTube video.
You made it to the end for some reason.
Watch another YouTube video.
Do it.
It'll be here. It'll be there.
There's links all over the place.
Shorts, longs, mediums.
Just start clicking.
We got it all.
All right.